All right, let's talk about the crazy paradox of cold email. It seems like the more you try to send, the more you get blocked, right? So how in the world do you scale your outreach without just getting flagged as spam? Well, today we're going to break down the two key tactics that let you beat the filters and actually land in the inbox.
So let's picture this. Your business is finally taking off. You've got a killer product, your list of leads is growing, and you know email is the best way to reach them. The next logical step? You gotta send more emails. You've gotta scale up.
But that's when you slam right into a brick wall. The second you ramp up the volume, your open rates just fall off a cliff. And you're left wondering why. It's because your emails are getting systematically sent to the spam folder, which is, an incredibly frustrating roadblock when you're trying to grow. So how do we fix this? Here's our game plan. First, we're going to define what I call the cold email trap. Then, we'll get into the two-part solution. We'll start with rotating your senders, and then cover how to vary your message with a cool little tool called spintax. And finally, we'll see how putting them together is your real key to the inbox.
Okay, so this is the classic catch-22. You have to think of spam filters as like really suspicious bouncers at a club. They're basically just pattern recognition machines, and they're on the lookout for two massive red flags. Number one, a ton of emails coming from just one account. And number two, a ton of emails that all look exactly the same. So the very act of trying to scale your outreach sets off all the alarms.
And let's put a real number on this, because this isn't a small problem. Back in 2019, Larry Kim, the co-founder of MobileMonkey, had a goal: send 25,000 emails a day. But when he went looking for a tool that could handle that scale, the price tag was, well, it was a staggering $250,000 a year. That's the real cost of the scaling problem.
But here's the thing. Larry found a way around it. He used a different approach and was able to hit that $25,000 a day number with, and this is the most important part, excellent deliverability. His emails were actually getting seen. So how do you do it? Well, that brings us right to our first core strategy.
Okay, let's get into the first piece of this puzzle, rotating your senders. I'm telling you, this is a total game changer for anyone doing high-volume email, because it directly attacks that first big spam trigger we just talked about.
So what the heck is smart inbox rotation? Well, think of it this way. Instead of one person shouting the same thing 1,000 times, you have 20 different people, each saying it 50 times. The first one looks like spam. The second looks like a bunch of normal individual conversations. That's what this system does. It automatically spreads your emails across lots of different accounts, which is absolutely crucial for protecting your domain's reputation.
And in practice, it's super simple. Your campaign kicks off. The system automatically sends email number 1 from sender A. The next one goes out from sender B, then sender C, and it just keeps cycling through all your accounts on repeat. It's like email camouflage. You stay completely under the radar. But look, solving the volume problem is only half the battle. We're not out of the woods yet. You also have to deal with the content problem. Because if you send thousands of emails from all these different accounts, but the message is exactly the same, well, those spam filters are smart, and they will catch on. And that's where spintax comes in. Spintax sounds way more technical than it is. It's just a brilliant way to create thousands of unique versions of your email from a single template. You just give it a few options for a word or phrase, like hi, hello, hey there, and the software automatically mixes and matches them for each email. The result? Every single email that goes out looks like a totally unique personal message to the algorithms. And just look at this comparison right here. It says it all. On the left, this is what the spam filter sees without spintax. The same sentence over and over and over. That's a huge red flag. Now, look to the right. With spintax, every message is just a little different. To an algorithm, these look like individual emails, not a mass blast. And this, my friends, is where the magic really happens. You combine the smart sender rotation with the spintax, now you're fighting spam on two fronts. You're changing up who is sending the message, and you're changing up what the message actually says. You solve the volume problem and the content problem at the exact same time. And hey, if you need proof of how important this stuff is, just look at how these features are sold. As you can see, sender rotation is almost always a premium add-on. You have to upgrade to a much more expensive plan, or you face some pretty tough limits. That tells you everything you need to know about how critical this is for any serious outreach. So what's the end goal of all this? What does success actually look like? It looks like this: a 99% inbox placement rate. This means your messages aren't just getting sent, they're getting seen. They're giving you a chance to start a conversation, to close a deal. It's the result of a smart strategy that works with the spam filters, not against them.
All right, let's wrap this up and bring it all home. What's the big takeaway here for your business?
Here's what you really need to remember. First, high-volume cold email is a battle against spam filters, period. Second, sender rotation is your weapon to solve the volume problem. Third, spintax is your weapon to solve the content repetition problem. And fourth, you put them together, and you finally unlock high deliverability outreach at massive scale.
And that leaves us with one last really crucial question. Are you just renting your growth, relying on platforms that actually penalize you for scaling up? Or are you ready to start owning it by building a smart outreach engine that's actually built to last?